Hello, hello. Is this working? We will see. Hello, hello. Welcome. It is a beautiful Wednesday morning. Happy hump day. I wrote a blog that I'm going to be posting after this video downloads to my computer when I'm done with it. I'll be attaching the video to the blog. I know some of you like watching videos, and I know people like me like reading blogs. There's the best of both worlds on my blog because I know everyone learns differently. But what I'm going over today is how many repetitions should I be doing to achieve my goal of losing fat, aka building lean muscle mass. So I have this wonderful blog here that I'm going to go over with you. I'm just going to touch on the key points. But the first thing I want to say is this is a common question I get from women when we're in clarity calls, and it comes up because we talk about how to effectively achieve their goals. There's no set answer to this question. There's only suggestions and science to back up the best benefits of each. It depends more on the chart in the blog, how you're going to pick your weight, as well as the repetition ranges do have an area for how much weight you use in each exercise. What it matters in the grand scheme of things is your body type, because you will train differently for each body type, and that is broken down in the blog too. So, repetition ranges. First thing I will say is when picking a weight for exercise, you should not be able to get more than the end number for that category. If you are training for strength, which I'll go over that repetition in a second, you don't want to get more than 6 repetitions, as that is the max. If you can get 7 repetitions, your weight should go up. So that's all that means. Repetition ranges. So for maximal strength and power, it's between 2 to 6. So you want to do 2 to 6 reps. For hypertrophy, which is building muscle, essentially muscle growth, it's 4 to 12 repetitions. But for functional strength and hypertrophy together, it's 4 to 6 repetitions, while general hypertrophy is 8 to 12, which is where you do the muscle growing. Very important to keep that in mind. When you exceed past 12 repetitions, you are training for endurance. You are not building muscle. Okay, remember that. You're training for endurance, not building muscle. What really matters, like I said, isn't about the range, so to speak, but it's more about how to know what body type I am. So I did list a calculator here in this blog. There will be a link button to it. You can go ahead and go over and take that. But I'm going to elaborate on how to train for each body type. If you take the test, it'll also give you some nutritional value for your body type, which are both important considerations when you're starting one of my programs or when you're starting fitness just in general. So an ectomorph, that's one of the body types. Ectomorphs are usually lanky, they're skinny, it's hard for them to gain weight. For building lean muscle mass, they want to be in the hypertrophy range, which is 8 to 12, the general hypertrophy range. And cardio is generally discouraged for long periods of time because they have trouble building muscle due to their faster metabolic rates. A mesomorph is another body type, and they're generally kind of stocky. They are bulky. They look more active when they work out, like they're a muscular body type. But you have to lift moderate to heavy weight and include some cardio. Repetition range can go from strength to general hypertrophy. So again, that's 2 to 12. And additionally, mesomorphs should do some cardio to stay fit 3 to 5 days a week. Endomorphs. Endomorphs are what I'm a mix of also. I'm a mesomorph and an endomorph. You can't get rid of the fat. It sticks on. It's hard to lose, easy to gain. Blah, blah, blah. Anyways, endomorphs were told to do high repetitions to achieve lean muscle mass in the past, which is far from the truth. Research shows otherwise, and it's recommended to do some type of circuit training with moderate to heavy resistance for the endomorph in order to lose fat more adequately. You should take very little rest in between your moves, and you should use compound movements. I will go over what a compound movement is later in this blog or later in this video. Just keep watching. Also, for an endomorph, a combination, of weight training, high intensity interval training, enlist, light intensity, steady state cardio is required for a leaner physique. I also linked in my blog information on HIIT Enlist in case you missed that blog. It's also linked on this page. So we figured out the repetitions for a body type. So you have your body type repetitions. You kind of know what you're doing. The next question is, what's next? So I'm going to go over for the strategy for cutting, aka fat loss, aka building lean muscle mass. So high repetitions, like I said, are not recommended for lean muscle mass while cutting. That's because high repetitions are best for long distance runners or other types of endurance athletes. I don't care if your trainer told you should be doing 15 reps with 5-pound weights. They're wrong. They don't know what they're talking about, and they aren't doing their continuing education credits, I guarantee, because it is backed up by science to lift heavy weight if possible, or whatever heavy is for you. Those type of high repetition workouts, they stimulate slow twitch fibers. I went in on another blog. It was my first blog I posted. I put the link in this blog to it to explain what a slow twitch and fast twitch muscle fiber are. The downside of high repetitions, when cutting, you must be in a caloric deficit. You have to be in a deficit. In other words, in layman terms, you burn more calories than you consume. When cutting or promoting fat loss, it is very metabolically taxing to perform high repetitions and could lead to major fatigue during your workout. Why? The glycogen that you have built up in your body, there's just not enough of it because you're not eating as much, and that could lead you to being very tired. Ideal repetition range for cutting. Although there is not a particular rep range that will help you lose more fat, I suggest doing 5 to 8 repetitions if you're in a phase where you're in a caloric deficit. As previously explained in another blog, the fat burning range for your heart rate does not mean that you're burning fat off your body. Does not mean that. What it means is that your body is in a range where it can use fat for energy more effectively. I also linked a blog to where I talked about the fat burning range on the blog that I'll be posting with this video. So the benefits of 5 to 8 repetitions. The benefits of 5 to 8 repetitions while cutting. When you are in a phase where you're trying to change your body composition by losing fat, it is important that you keep an eye on your metabolism, or you will plateau. You will not continue losing fat. You will not continue losing weight. This would include effectively fueling the body, but also staying in the 5 to 8 repetition range. That's just a range that's best for your glycogen levels. When you're in a caloric deficit, your muscles will have less glycogen, like I said, stores to support a high volume workout. This could lead to going to a catabolic state, which results in muscle loss, which will give you a skinny, fat look. A study from the University of Alabama shows the following 2 groups. Group 1, high reps or just cardio. Group 2, they were heavy lifters. When you compare the 2 groups, both groups lost the same amount of weight with all the controlled factors. Although they lost the same amount of weight, Group 1 lost muscle and fat, mostly muscle. Group 2 lost only fat. So it does matter on the repetition range with the exercises that you perform and the type of exercise that you do. Cardio and high repetitions isn't going to get you that fat-burning, lean physique, I promise you. Other suggestions for attempting to build lean muscle. One would be to reduce workout volume. This also relates to glycogen storages that are mentioned above. Too much volume will result in fatigue or having your metabolic system taxed, which could lead in plateauing, could lead to metabolic damage. Lots of things, unhealthy, not good. Reduce workout duration. So it is recommended to finish your weight training session in an hour if you are cutting. This relates to the catabolic state comment where you're at risk for losing muscle mass you work so hard to put on. Very important to keep it under. When you're in a caloric deficit, it's way different than when you're bulking. When you're bulking, if you want to hit the gym for 2 hours, I'm all for it. But keep it under an hour if you're cutting. You want to make sure that you're not losing that muscle mass that you work so hard to get. Practice and include compound exercises. So a compound exercise just means that you're using multiple muscles and joints. They include moves like squats, deadlifts, bench press, lunges, dips, stuff like that. This results in burning more calories and retains strength and muscle mass. So you're kind of going harder, but you're not depleting those levels because of the rep range that you're in. Do not do cardio before weightlifting. Do not do cardio before weightlifting. Do not do it. Don't do it. Why? I can't stress this enough. The results, this results in putting your body at risk for metabolic damage while in a cutting phase. If you've ever seen the skinny fat look, this is from overconsumption of cardio or using it before weightlifting, which will result in that due to the catabolic state it enters during each session, which just means you're losing your muscle mass. Not good. Manage intensity. Intensity should always be prioritized over volume while you're in a cutting phase, building lean muscle, or losing fat, which are essentially all the same thing. Increasing intensity does not just mean shorter rest periods. It also could be adding drop sets, which just means you do a heavier weight. As soon as you're done with that heavier weight, you go down in weight and do the same exercise. It could be exercising in supersets, which just means 2 exercises back to back. So let's say I was doing arms and I do 10 bicep curls and then I do 10 tricep extensions. That's not how you do a tricep extension. You want your elbow up. Kind of hard to do on camera. Anyways, workouts also should be under... Oh, excuse me, I went on the wrong spot. Adding drop sets, circuit training, supersets, and HIIT, high intensity interval training. Watch how often you do that HIIT. It should only be 1 to 3 times a week. It can be taxing on the body as well, depending how long you go for, and it can lead to a catabolic state. Anyways, to conclude, structure your diet and training around your body type. Ideal repetition range is 5 to 8 when building lean muscle mass while you're in a caloric deficit. It keeps you out of the catabolic state, aka you'll lose your muscle. Workouts should be under an hour and avoid high volume to avoid draining your glycogen levels. You want energy for your workout. You don't want to tank out. And also increase intensity. If you have any questions, feel free to leave them below. I'll answer them as quickly as possible. Thanks for joining. Until next time, boss babes. Bye.